Hi, I'm Marilyn San Clemente of Stamp with Marilyn, and welcome to my creative playground. Tonight, we're going to play around with the Sunrise Sailing, which I love. It's a gorgeous set, has a really cool detailed embossing folder, and lots of really cool dies, and I think that there's a lot that you can do with it. So let me get my camera set up and we can get started. Again, welcome to my creative playground, and I'm Marilyn San Clemente. So today we're going to look at the Sunrise Sailing set. It looks like this. It's got a sailboat, and it's got all kinds of dies to cut out other boats and sails to put in the background. So it looks like there's lots of people sailing, or you could do a race, that kind of thing. So that's the stamp set, and these are the dies. And then this die, I'm going to show you that, cuts out waves. So it's really cool. Okay. So I've put together a couple of cards. I did this card for my stamp club last week. And as you can see, I used the embossing folder to emboss the waves here. And then we used, I can't remember the name of the set now. It's the Up in the Sky, but it's all the sky paper. So I use that for the background of this. And this is a step card. And we had fun making that. So a step card is 8.5 by 5.5, and you score it at 4 1/4, and then you create these little steps. These are two other cards that I worked on this afternoon. And I love this. So this one I used Everyday Arches. Oh my gosh. Why can't I remember anything tonight? Because I've been doing this all day long. Okay, so this one, what I did was I layered a couple of layers with the Everyday Arches on top of each other, so it's going up. And then this one, I did the opposite. And what I should have done was used dimensionals in between these layers, and I didn't do that. So then it would look like it was going down instead of up, and I didn't do that. And I did You're Destined for Great Things. Ooh, that's smudged. And then this one is Best Wishes, and I just put the little waves on the inside that you can cut. And then this is my cheat sheet that I do. I always do a cheat sheet for my stamp sets so that I know what I have available with the stamp set. So this stamp set, like I said, it has these waves that you can cut. It has this stamp that makes the waves it gives the waves dimension. There's a couple of little boats. There's some different sails. There's the seagulls, there's clouds, and there's this boat. And then there's a stamp that fills the boat in and does the stripes on the sail. And then this set also has a lot of sentiments to it. You're destined for great things, ahoy, congratulations, happy retirement, best wishes, and you deserve the best. So that is what's included in that set. So it is a good size set. And then this is a detailed embossing folder. It's an extra thick one, so you do need to use the special plate for it. But what's really cool is if you can also cut at the same time that you're embossing. So if you're going to put your piece of paper in here, you can line it up. You can run this through. You'd run it through like this. You always want to run the fold through first. And you would run it through like this, and then it will cut the sailboat out, and the sails will be puffed out because there's this piece here. So it's really cool. So you can cut and emboss at the same time. But again, it's going to puff your sails out. And this is what the embossing folder looks like. So it also does these really cool clouds. And I like this too. So these clouds too. So there's There's so many different ways that you can use this because it does have the embossing folder and it has the dies so that you can cut this piece out, the sailboat out. So that is the Sunrise Sailing Set. And the card we're going to make tonight was inspired by one of my downline. She did a similar card, and I actually didn't have a picture of her card, so I just did it out of my head. So these are those new cards that are made with the arches, dies, and I've seen a couple of them now. I did do one a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't quite this format. I just thought this was really cool. So what I did was I used 3 different panels, and this panel, as you can tell, this panel is a little bit lighter, and then I got a little bit darker, and then here I wanted to do kind of almost like a sunset type with the panel. So I'm going to show you how I did this. So what I did was I pre-cut everything this morning, and there is a lot of layers to this one. So this is the Secret Sea, which is one of the new in colors. This is Misty Moonlight. This is the cloud cover, which is kind of a bluish gray. And then I have, here's another piece of Misty Moonlight. And then I have a couple pieces of Boho Blue, which I know has retired, but I love Boho Blue. I'm going to use that. Okay, so what I need to do with this is 4 1/4 by 11. So I need to cut that in half to do my card base, because this card just has this backing. It doesn't have it's not an actual card. So I actually added this to the back of it so that you could stamp a message and you could write a little note on the back of the card, and you don't have to ruin your scene that you've made, your boating scene. So I think I will probably make one of these for my cousin. She and her boyfriend, yacht club, and they go sailing all the time. This is actually our background. This is going to go on here. By 11, okay? And we're going to use this to do this background here. You can see just little pieces of it, but I don't have the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I want to cut this at a diagonal. Okay, so I want to mark at 1.5 inches over here. And I'm going to line this up so that, okay, so I've got a mark here. That's 1.5 inches. If you can see that, you probably can't because this is so dark. Oops, and I'm going the wrong way there. Okay. So I want to go like this. Okay, so I want the diagonal piece to be right on the cutting line. And there we go. We're going to score this. Let me flip this upside down. We're going to score this at 4 inches and 8 inches. Or actually, we're going to score it at just under 4 inches. If we score it at 4 inches, then the card won't fold correctly. So I'm going to score that at just under 4 inches. And I'm also going to score that at just under 8 inches. I'm going to flip it that way. Okay, so I did the 4 inches, and now I'm going to do just under 8. And I don't want to cut. There we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is that we're going to fold this. And the reason why you want it to be just under 4 is this is 4 inches. And if you have it at 4 inches, it's not going to fold correctly. So, okay, there we go. So there is our fold to get that diagonal effect. So now I'm just going to attach this. Like so. I'm going to line that up on the bottom. Okay. And now it just opens up like that. Now on this one, I took a whole bunch of cloud cover and I had cut strips and then I embossed it using the waves. But I don't think I'm going to do that on this one because this came out super, super thick because this is like, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 7 layers on the front. And then when you add this, when you fold it all together, it's pretty thick. Okay, we're going to use the Misty Moonlight, and that's going to go here. It is just a tad crooked right there. Okay, that will drive me nuts. So I'm just going to get in there with my snips, if I can, and straighten that out a little bit. And then this will hide that. So if we put this down like this, there we go. That will hide that. Okay, so let's attach that. So this is just a matter of layers. Okay, I'm going to put that on. And then we're going to use the boho blue. I'm going to miss this color. So, but I'll still use it on projects and things until I run out. But I do really like that blue, boho blue. Okay, I want to use that. Okay. Okay, there we go. And now what we're going to do, and actually I'm going to color these white ones first. I probably should have colored that one before I put it on. And then we'll do the layering in a couple of minutes. So what I'm going to do is I have some blending brushes. And as you can tell, this is a blue one. And this is a yellow kind of orange one. And I have my different inks here. So I have the yellow, so Darling Duckling. I have the Timid Tiger, and then I have the Strawberry Slush. Okay. And what we're going to do is I want to do that whole piece where I'm going to start, I'm going to start with a kind of a morning type of look. So I'm going to use yellow and I'm going to use cloud cover here. And then I'm going to add a little bit more orange because that's a late afternoon sun. And then this would be a setting sun, so a horizon. So I did take my re-inker and inked the cloud, re-inked the cloud cover, this cloud cover. So I want to see if it comes out the more blue color. So first thing we're going to do is with the cloud cover, we're going to do this. Wow, I can tell I just re-inked it because it's much darker than it was a little while ago. Okay, I'm going to make that one the night sky. I just want to do lightly. There we go. I've just got a little bit of shading. Now you can tell. Okay, so that would be good for the first one. I like that. I have my Darling Duckling, the yellow. Okay, so you always, when you're doing something like this, you always start with the lightest color first. So I'm starting with the yellow because that's the lightest color. Oops, and I can't move that one because I had already glued it down. Okay, so what I'm going to do is do this here. There we go. And the reason why you start off on the edge is because you don't want to get like a big blob of the ink. Because if you pick this up, you know, if you re-ink this and then put this down, it's going to be, you'll have a big blob. So that's why we start on the edge and kind of work our way in. And you know what? You can tell that these are new ink pads because, boy, they are juicy, which is great. There we go. So what I have done with my blending brushes, I know some people have 50 brushes, one for each color, one for every color. But what I've done is I've taken it like this. Okay, so this one I originally used for light blue, but I'm not using it for light blue today. But I'll wash it out later. So I put together, I did 3 brushes per color. So I have like a light blue, I have medium blue, and I have darker blue. And so I have 3 blue brushes. I have 3 green brushes. I have, so for each of the major color groups, I have, you know, 3 different brushes. So I have red, I have 3 different shades of red. So I have the poppy, and I have real red, and then cherry cobbler, that type of thing. So that's how I kind of keep my colors separate. Because what people have found is if you wash your brushes out every time you use them, you're going to be wasting a lot of your ink because then you have to start over with the brush in terms of getting it inked up. So I hope that all makes sense. So now I'm going to do this one. This one's going to be the middle, so it's going to be a little bit lighter. So I want some orange or timid tiger. Okay, that's probably, that might be too much, but maybe not. Okay, and now this one, I want very, very little timid tiger. Oh, shoot, and I just got that. This is exactly what I was talking about. But I'll go back over that again with some more with the yellow. Okay, get some of that timid tiger off of there. Okay, go back and add a little bit more yellow to that. Okay, I think I'm just making it darker, which isn't exactly what I want to do. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to make this look like a night sky. So to do that, I've got my strawberry slush. And I'm just going to mix that pink in. I love strawberry slush. I was so psyched when that color came back. And I actually found some old strawberry slush ruffled ribbon that I've had forever. That I had stashed away. Can you see that one getting a little bit more pink? Like a night sky? So I am in the Boston area. So I live near the ocean, I'm not on the ocean, but I do live near the ocean. I do have a place at Hampton Beach in New Hampshire. And so I love the sunsets. And I have a really great view of the sunset out my bedroom window. So the sunsets are gorgeous. Okay, so there, I think I've got a fair amount of pink into that. And this one I just want to do kind of an in-between. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change these. Oops. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, I want this to be the lighter one. And then I'm going to add more pink to this one. This will be the medium. So this you want just a kind of a shading. You want to look like it's just starting to turn to pink, but it's not all there yet. So again, I want to credit my downline Jeannie for giving me this idea. I honestly don't remember what hers looked like, so I think I've made my own version of it. Okay. I love that. Isn't that pretty? Now let's see if I can get this up. Nope. That's okay because we're done blending, so I can throw this piece, I can throw this out. Okay, so this one, we are going to attach this to here. Okay, so this is going to go like this. That one will go on there. And you want to be careful, you don't want to glue too much up because this is the narrow part. There we go. And, okay. So this one will go here. And then this one will go here. So what's everybody's favorite new in color? Mine's the Strawberry Slush, definitely. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let me make sure that I can fold that. Yep, I can fold it closed. That works. All right. Oops. Okay. Oh, I went all the way up. Okay. This is what these great erasers are for. We used to sell these. We don't anymore, but you can get them on Amazon. And you want to always take, it just pulls that glue off, the seal off, and I think I did this on purpose. But I do love these erasers. They are great. They do have a tendency to harden up and dry out after a while because I have one, it's only 20 years old. That's like a rock. So I threw that one out and I got this. You know, I ordered this one off of Amazon. Since it was 20 years old, it was ready to be retired. 90% of the time, or 99% of the time, when you make a mistake, you can clean it up. You just have to have the right tools to do that. Okay, now my hand's all sticky. Okay, so that shouldn't stick now. That'll be fine. Excellent. All right. Yes. So I wanted to do a setting sun. The Circle Dies, Spotlight of Nature. And let's take this little one. So that'll look like a radiating sun. And this time, so when I cut it this morning, I used the Timid Tiger, but then I realized after I cut it that the strawberry slush probably would have been a better color. So I'm going to grab a scrap of strawberry slush here, which I do have. So I will just cut that. Okay. Oh yeah, definitely. That shows up much better because now it looks like the red sun. So it's kind of a combination of red and the orange. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here. I want to color a couple of clouds. Oops. Oops. Oh, I moved my, didn't I? Oh well. Ah, I'm doing exactly what I didn't want to do. Okay, there we go. Now it's blending. Okay, don't ever throw things away too early. I should know better. Just set it aside because you might need it again. Because you will have forgotten something like this. Okay, there we go. That's better. Oops. There we go. Not super even, but that's okay because clouds have lots of shades on them. Okay. Yeah, so we've got these. Okay, now I'm going to set that aside just in case I need it again. Okay, here's this piece. So let's do, so what I did here was, I thought this was kind of interesting because it makes it look like there's a boat off in the background. Same thing here. But you've got these, you know, different size boats. And so it looks like they're different distances away. Here we go. There's our water. So what I did was I used those long strips, or I started with 1 inch, and I cut, you know, that little wave piece, and then I stamped the waves. I hope you can see that. I can't. I can see it, but so I stamped those waves on top. And so let's put one of the clouds over here. On this one, I used the bigger clouds. There's 2 clouds in this set. There's one larger cloud and then the smaller one. So to get this to work, I had cut that cloud off a little bit, so it's just kind of floating off. But using the smaller cloud, we should be fine. So here's one. Oops. So this one might have a couple of little boats racing each other. Okay, do that. There we go. All right. Okay, so in the background, let's do some sails in the background. Oops, if I can. So let's put that back there because then it will look like it's way out in the distance. Kind of reminds me, my daughter got married in Falmouth, Mass on the beach. Oops, oh my gosh. What did I do there? Oops, I guess, oh, okay, that was just stuck to it. It was a scrap. Okay, let's put that one back there. Okay, now what we want to do is stamp our boat. Okay, so I have a piece of white. I have my Memento Black. And here is the sailboat. Okay, so it has this really cool piece that fits like this. So it does those racing stripes that are on the sail. So I'll do that. So you just line it up. So this is Balmy Blue that I'm using. This is the bottom of the boat. Okay, so I'll move that up so you can see. Oops, my shaky hands. There we go. Ah, I could redo it. I'm a little bit off. There we go. So, okay, I'm going to take this off, but we could make that really pop. Let's see. I could put a dimensional on that and make it. Okay. So, let's see here. I don't think I need to make this card any thicker. It's pretty, the whole card itself is pretty thick. So, okay, there we go. Now, what I did with this, oops, it goes like that. So I put the congratulations down here, and then on the back, I put you're destined for great things. So I have an extra piece here. I'm going to put this onto the back so that people can write messages. And what I'm thinking is there is a happy retirement in here, in this set. Here we go, happy retirement. Okay, so my trick for these, I'm going to pop this out. And what you can do is you can line this up like this and trim it down. So just run it through again. There we go. Ta-da! We have our message that's the correct size. So there's our little piece that we cut off. Okay, that will go like that. So that will look good. Oops. So even though I've been a demonstrator now for 24 years, there's still stuff you can learn because there's always stuff coming out. New things coming out, new tools, new everything. So Elizabeth Price is a former artisan, and she teaches very advanced stamping, and she teaches some really gorgeous techniques for adding shimmer and different things to your cards, doing backgrounds and things like that. So I'm going to put that there. There you go. So what do you think? How does that look? I'm really liking it. Okay. So a couple points that I wanted to make. We do have coming up, as you know, Stampin' Up! Took on the Close to My Heart consultants when Close to My Heart closed their doors. And the designer from Close to My Heart now works for Stampin' Up! And she's the lead designer for all those scrapbooking kits that are coming out. And she is going to be hosting this retreat July 16th to the 18th. And you will make a whole scrapbook, 12 pages, 1 page for every month. And it runs for 3 days. They're 8-hour increments and over 3 days, so 24 hours of videos. And I love scrapbooking, and actually have not done a lot of it recently. So I'm excited about this. Plus, when she came over, they brought additional things, like there are these things, they're called flip flaps, and it allows you to make like a waterfall card type of effect so that you can flip a picture up and then you can put other pictures underneath it. So you can do like a series of pictures. So she's going to show how to use those. You know, you'll learn how to use those. There's going to be all kinds of things. So this retreat is coming up. We'll be able to register starting on May 28th. There are a limited number of kits, and once it's sold out, it's sold out. Because this is 12 pages that you're going to be making. The only thing that's not included is the album, but they have also pre-cut all the pages for you. So you can see some of the layouts here. You can see the August layout. Here's the November. They're tiny, tiny, tiny. But, oh, and here's the February one, which I got to see that one up close. That one was really pretty. So they've cut all the pieces for you and all the strips, and they've packaged everything also. So every page has its own package. Registration will open on the 28th. So save the dates. The dates are going to be July 16th to the 18th. The 16th is a Saturday, and it starts at 2 p.m. Mountain Time, so that's 4 o'clock our time. So it depends upon, you have to figure out where you are based on where you are in your time zone. So for us, it's 4 p.m. to 12:30 at night. And, but these are recorded, and you can listen to them at any time. You don't have to be present exactly when they're doing this. So, but if you want to, you can be online and doing it with them. So anyway, I'm very, very excited about this. And it will be $250 US. You're going to get 2 full stamp sets that are unique to this, to scrapbooking. And they won't be available any other time. Like I said, they're prepping all the material. There's a list, they give you a list of supplies. Once you register, they give you a list of supplies. If you purchase this scrapbooking kit, then you are registered. That sets your registration up. So I am really, really excited about that. Okay, so thank you so much for stopping by. If you're not on my mailing list, go out to stampwithmarilyn.com and you can sign up there. And I send out usually 1 to 2 newsletters a week. It depends upon the week. Thanks again for stopping by, and have a long weekend. It's actually the long weekend. So take care.